All right, guys. So good evening. Welcome to the first meeting for the inner circle. So my goal, obviously, this is kind of like a replacement of going live. There are certain things that, obviously I'm not going to share in the public. So that's the benefit of being in the inner circle because certain things I will not say on Instagram, TikTok, and things like that. So for everybody who tapped in, y'all gonna get some stuff that I wouldn't talk about on social media. That's the whole purpose. So I'm gonna go through the food stamp process and how I do it, and how some of my mentees and my other programs have been able to do it. Now, some of them have been able to do it just by filling the application out with no additional paperwork. But if any additional paperwork is required, I'm going to let you guys know what that paperwork is that I will submit, in along with your application. So all right, we're gonna jump into it. So for just a little backstory or a little back information, so you guys know that, when it comes to applying for anything that is involving credit, even though, food stamps is SNAP, is still credit, right? So when you are applying for credit, for family, personal, or household use, that means that it's backed up by government funding. So there's no way that you can be denied for something like that. So you have to understand, the laws that go into play when it comes to applying for things for personal, family, and household usage. We talked about that in the marathon course, talking about your consumer rights and things like that. But it's government funding. So I want you guys to write down the term or the words U.S. funds. So U.S. funds is different from U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar is how we pay each other, right? We're using U.S. dollar that way. But when you're dealing with government funding, it's U.S. funds. So that's what we are applying for, U.S. funds. And that will fall under, like, credit cards, food benefits, cars, houses, all that stuff applies to U.S. funds. So you cannot be denied for those things. So when it comes to applying for SNAP benefits, now when you do your application, now there are some people who might put what they think income really means, and they might put what they actually are paid through their job, but that is not considered income. That is considered compensation. I'm going to show you guys the definition of compensation so that you guys are aware. So you should be taking notes when it comes to things like this, because this will be important when should you have to explain yourself or rebut and things like that. Okay. So we're gonna do compensation definition, and I like to use Cornell. That's just what I use because it's a credible site and it deals with, laws. All right, so this might be the definition. Let's see. Uh, the internet is a little slower because I'm outside. Let's just see. Maybe I can bring it up in a different way. Hold on. Okay. Um, I think I got it. So we got this law down. Very important. Standard difference between income and compensation. 20 CFR point compensation. You can still hear me put something. I hear you. You can still hear me. You guys hear me? I don't see any chat. Um, hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Your voice is very choppy.
Okay, 1 second. What about now?
Uh, sound a little better.
Okay, hold on. I'm
Okay,
connected to my internet.
there you
I'm
go. It's
good
not
now?
better now. Yeah, it's not better now. Yeah, yeah, it's not better now. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Lil, just stay in the chat just in case I get choppy because I'm watching the chat as I can. Okay. So this right here, 20 CFR 211.2, is a definition of compensation. Does everybody see my screen? Just type yes in the chat, or you can just say yes if you see my screen. Yes. Okay, perfect. So let's read the definition of compensation, right? The term compensation means any form of payment made to an individual for services rendered as an employee. So are you not an employee of your jobs for an employer? Yes, no, maybe so. Y'all can talk. I took it off so you can engage. Yes, okay. So the term compensation means any form of payment made to an individual for services rendered as an employee for an employer. It also means services performed as an employee representative and any separation or substances allowance paid under any benefit schedule provided in conformance with the Title 7 of the Regional Rail Reorganization Act of 1973, blah, 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 right? So just let you know that compensation is a form of payment that you're paid from an employer to an employee. That would be what your job pays you, correct? It also says here, if an employee is to be paid any form other than money, the employer and employee must agree before the services is performed upon the following: the value of the commodity, service, or privilege, and the amount agreed upon to be paid may be paid in the form of commodity, service, or privilege. Also, B says compensation includes, but is not limited to the following: salary, wages, and bonuses. Salary, wages, and bonuses. Do you guys follow? Pay for time lost as an employee. Cash tips of $20 or more received in a calendar month. Vacation pay, military pay. All these things is what's considered compensation, not income. Now follow? I need y'all to interact because it makes it quicker for me to do that. If you just can say yes, you can just go ahead and speak. Go ahead and speak. I have it off where you can just speak. It's meant to be an engagement, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put this link, okay, in the chat because I want you guys to save it for later so you can always make reference to it. So now it's always harder for me to find a definition of income for some reason, but I wanted to give you guys the one for compensation because this is what they're talking about. You're being compensated for your work, but that is not considered income. So when an application is asking you for income, she have income. So we now there's a difference between compensation and income, and we just showed you here. This is a credible source because it says .edu. So sources with .edu, .gov, .org, those are credible sources. So it lets you know right here that when you get paid salary, wages, and things like that, it's compensation, it's not income. So unless you have things like, investment properties where you're gaining like money and things like that, then that can be considered income. However, what your job is paying you is not income. So on your application, when you are applying, you can say, I do not have any income because you're not lying when you say that. That is compensation. All right, so let me see if I can find a definition that I'm looking for of income. For some reason, when I do income, it's harder for me to find. Um, okay, here we go. It says income. Income is money or value that an individual remember we talk about the difference between a person, which in law, a person can be an individual, it could be a corporation, government, trust, all those things, right? But this specifically says individual, it doesn't say a corporation, doesn't say a person, talking about you. Income is money or value that an individual or business entity receives in exchange for providing a good or service or through investing capital. Do y'all see that? If you follow, say I follow. Okay. Right. Okay. Good. We follow. Right. So now it says the Haig-Simons model of income is commonly used in economics, which considers the following: income, wages, salary, blah, blah, blah. But again, they're deciphering because we just read the definition of compensation, and this says otherwise. Through investing capital, keywords, investing capital. So what might be an example of like investing capital? And I usually don't have my video off, y'all, but I'm in the car and the screen is super close to my face and it feels super weird. So that's why I don't have my video on, but I always have my video on when I teach. You can't unmute? Oh, I took it off. Hold on. That's weird. Oh, it has to be checked. It was already unchecked. Okay, got it. Okay, I
I'm
got it.
in. Thank you.
Oh,
And
you're
then we
welcome.
um investing capital could be probably be like stocks or real
Mhm.
estate maybe.
Yep. Right? So again, they just told us this is what income is. So if you're applying for SNAP benefits or whatever you're applying for, and they ask you what your income is, you have the right to say you don't have zero income because what you get paid from your job is compensation, as we just read that. Right? So that's the difference. So I just gave you a difference between income and compensation. So we know that when we fill out our application, we can say that we don't have any income because we don't unless we have investing capital, right? So that's number one. Now, it sometimes depending on what state you live in, they might ask you questions like, are you a citizen or are you not a citizen? Now, when it comes to that question, you have a right to answer that the way that you want to. I am not considered a citizen on paper. I have done my paperwork. I have corrected my status, so I'm not considered a citizen. So that's another way that you can easily get food stamps because when you are not a citizen, they can't deny you benefits per se, right? So like let's just say like you're not a United States citizen, you're coming here, you're working, they have to give you benefits and they get them very quickly. Isn't that crazy how when you're not a citizen, technically they give you benefits super fast? So what we sometimes do is we correct our status, not in like a whole entire way, but like certain things that we do to change our status. And then we get a documentation stating that there are no records found for us, stating that we are a citizen. And then we upload that with our application, or you can upload that in the event that you are denied. It is your choice, right? It's the FOIA. So I'm going to show you guys how to do a FOIA. But what I will show you guys first is I want you guys to, um, this is a website. It's called My E-Verify, and you would have to create an account with them. So you would do that, and then I'm going to show you guys. If I don't show you guys tonight, I'll do it quickly, or I'll have someone like Tyler, if he doesn't mind, do one and show you guys how to do, because Tyler did this step already. He's in one of our other programs. So what happens is you would sign up or create an account here. And let me just see if I can sign in really quickly. Give me a second because I want to show you guys, but I'm not sure what it will show because I already did it a while back. Let me see. But it's like a quick way to just kind of like update your stat, and then we do a second step. So it's my e-verify, and then you're basically going to change your status. Let me see if I can find my login. It's like a quick step. So we do this and then a second step, and then that's usually good for us. But I just had a mentee in my other program. He applied for stamps. He did his paperwork, but he didn't upload his paperwork, and he was able to get it. Like he applied last Saturday, he got food stamps on Monday. They called them on Monday, and then they shipped his card out that same day. So he got it and he didn't even put anything. He just did the application correctly. But again, remember everything is electronic, so everyone's not going to get the same result, even if you might put the same information. It just depends. So but he got lucky because he didn't have to submit his paperwork. Um, and he was able to do it. Okay, let me see. Okay, let me try to pull up. Mm, let me see. All right, here is my login. All right, let me see if I can log in here so I can show y'all. Again, I don't know if it's going to allow me to do it the way I want to because I already did it. But if not, I'll upload a video in the channel. So I'll show you guys how to do it. It's really quick though. Um, what is my password to this? Man. Okay, you know what? I think I'm just gonna have to create, maybe I'll try to create a new account. Let me see. Usually my passwords are, let me see. Um, um, okay, you know what I'll do? I'll just show you guys a video of how to do it. Just that way. You'll have that. Um, and if you have the Google Drive, it's actually in there in the status correction ebook. It shows the My E-Verify step, but I'll go ahead and pull it up so I can show you guys. I'll just share the video with you guys. Um, okay.
The ones I'm paying for clothes.
Okay, desktop. It's always hard for me to find this ebook for some reason, but I think I got it. And then okay. Nope, not that one.
Trying too hard.
Make sure you guys pause yourself. Um,
This is what
people who miss it, they don't have to hear it. Okay. All right, let me just go into the Google Drive and pull it up because it's going to be hard for me to find it on my computer. I don't know why it's always hard for me to find this exact one. Oh, you know what? I have it in Telegram. One of my Telegram groups. Give me a second. Telegram. All right.
Hey, Dr. Goody.
Yes.
I actually filed that a while back, 2 years ago, and I have that in my document right now. I don't know if you're interested in seeing that.
I just found it. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
you're
Thank
welcome.
you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Yep, I got the ebook. And I'm going to show you guys the ebook so that if you had the Google Drive, you know where it's at. So this is the ebook right here. And it has the my e-verify. So I'm just going to pull up the actual um, should be up here. What should be down here? If y'all see it, let me know. E-verify. I'm just scrolling. I thought it was before this, but maybe it's not. It is. Why am I skipping it? Well, if you have the link, can you just drop it in the chat? This is so weird. I usually
The link to the
my
list.
e-verify.
Okay.
It's in here. It's just in this it's ebook for sure, but I don't know why I can't find it because it's for sure in here. That's so
If you right click,
weird.
you can search for verify and it should show you
That's
where
what
it is.
I just tried to do that and I couldn't see anything.
Oh,
I
just
think it might be
Control
this
F.
one.
Okay, let me see. Yeah, so I have let me see. I have the link. I'm just trying to find the video because I already did it, so I'm not sure. I don't want to screw myself up trying to recreate another account and then, because they'll merge. So I was
Okay.
actually trying to find the link with the video showing how to do it, which is on the
Oh, got it.
ebook. Why
It
is
looks
it
like it's on page 15 of this ebook.
15? Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
Okay, what page? Thank you. I'm like, I don't know
You're
why it's
welcome.
hard for me to see it. I usually have it with no problem. Okay, this is page 15. That's the
Oh,
yeah, maybe is this a different version of it?
steps to
Okay.
complete e-verify. Self-check.
You see?
Yeah, on mine, my Google.
Okay. Okay, do you have the link
Let's see.
for the video?
I'm clicking.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it in. It looks like I'm putting it
Okay.
and plopping.
Okay.
There it goes.
Oh, I do have it. Okay, thank you so much. I got it.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Okay, good.
I don't know why I couldn't see it, girl. Thanks. All right, let me
You're
go ahead
welcome.
and play the video for you guys so that you guys just can see how it's done. Like I said, I already did it, so I don't want to create a new account.
All right, so this is for the FOIA request. Gonna click on Freedom of
Wait,
Information Act.
that's the FOIA. I'm looking for the My E-Verify. That's the one before it. So the FOIA, I got that. Because even with the FOIA, you can go in there and create a new request, so I can show you how to do it that way. But I'm looking for the My E-Verify. It should be the page before this one. Because you want to do the
I
my.
think I found it.
Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
I found it. Yeah, hold on. Let me see.
I know it was in the Google Drive, but I don't know, for some reason it might take me longer to get there. Let's see.
Oh, someone just shared the link, it looks like.
Okay. I don't think I see it yet,
Oh.
unless it is it Marisa? Is that the one? Let me see. Oh, yeah. I have it. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Marisa. All right. So this one is the right one. It's the My E-Verify. Okay, cool. I'm gonna share it. So make sure you guys mute yourselves.
E-Verify, we're going ahead and scroll down and click on My E-Verify. Once we click on log into an account, or just sign in, put your info in, and once you're in, click My E-Verify. And then we're going to scroll down and select Verify with Self-Check. After that, you're going to go ahead and confirm your identity information. Once you confirm all of that, next page, you're going to select your citizenship status.
This part is really important because this is what you're changing. So your citizenship status is going to be the one that says, I am a non-citizen national of the United States. So that's the one, number 2. That's your selection once you create the account. So if you just go to Google and put My E-Verify, you'll see it's the citizenship, the USCIS website, and then you'll just hit it, and then you'll create an account. And after you do that, she's showing you how to do this. So this is exactly how it's done. So second option.
I am a non-citizen national of the United States. That's what you want to select. And after that, you're going to select your document type. I chose passport. So then you put in that information.
So if you don't have a passport, you can choose your driver's license or whatever other document you have. This doesn't matter which one you choose, it's just verifying who you are.
And after that, you're going to the next screen.
And that's literally it, guys. So you just want to change that little question, and that's pretty much it. So once after you do the My E-Verify, you're then going to do the FOIA. So the FOIA stands for the Freedom of Information Act. So you have a right to request information on your actual consumer name or anything that relates to it. So that's the second step. And so when you're on that website, you can go all the way down. Like after you do the My E-Verify, you scroll all the way at the bottom, you should see FOIA request. If not, there's a direct link, and I'll drop that for you guys as well. But again, all you have to do is Google it. All you got to do is just Google FOIA, FOIA. Just make sure it's from the USCIS website and you know it's the right one. So just get in the habit of, like, learning how to search and Google things because it's all on the internet. As long as you have the right site, you're okay. Okay. So now let's go through the FOIA. And I can actually bring up my FOIA account because, and it took me like 6 FOIAs to get the right one. So FOIA requests. Let's see. So I went to Google and I did FOIA requests. So right here, USCIS, that's where you're making sure is this website when you're doing a FOIA and a My E-Verify. As long as you have the right website, you know you have the right, you're on the right page. As long as the website is right. All right, so you're gonna go here and I'll drop this website for y'all, even though y'all can search it on your own and find it because you guys are very smart. I'll just go ahead and drop it in the chat for y'all. So then you're gonna do online FOIA request. So there's different ways you can do it. You can select here or you can select here. Doesn't matter. It's going to take you to the same place. All right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to create an account. So obviously I already have an account. So let me just stop sharing while I put my information in. I already have one. But once you have an account, I'm going to also show you how to check the actual status of it later. So go ahead and create your account and then you log in. And then once you create your account, they're going to always ask you or send you a verification code and they're going to text it to you. So make sure your phone is handy before you do it because you're going to need that verification code. Right. Okay, so once you log in, you're going to see this. So you're going to be submitting a FOIA request for who? Are you doing it for yourself? You're doing it for someone else or other requests? Who's it for?
For yourself.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so you're gonna pick for myself. Then you're gonna hit new request. See, it says resume because I was probably showing someone else before, but you're gonna hit new request and you're just going to go through the information, right? So the first thing you're going to do is, and I'm going to tell you why you're going to be making certain selections because it might be used for other things in the future. So when it comes to the FOIA, you want to select the one that says birth certificate and I-94. Those are your selections. All right. And then what you're going to do is next, you're going to scroll down and then, down, and then you're going to select other, because this is where you're going to be letting them know what information you are requesting. So in this box, now I would put, now you can say this however way you want to say it, but my exact words and how I did it. And mind you, sometimes when they have too many things coming in that says the same thing, they might try to switch it up. So you might have to put it into your own words, but I would put any documents relating to my status as a U.S. citizen. You don't want to put us as you do U.S. US. You want to make sure you put because you're not saying the word us. That's different from saying U.S. citizen. So you would put that here. Any documents relating to my status as a U.S. citizen. We all got that? We all got that? Really simple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Can you repeat that again,
perfect.
please? I think it was breaking up for some people. Is it breaking up for me?
Okay, can y'all hear me clearly now?
Yes, I hear
Yes.
you now.
Okay, any documents relating to my status as a U.S. citizen, U.S. That's all you're gonna put. Now, there's different ways that I've said it. Like, for example, please provide me with documents of my citizenship status of, and then I put the name. Or you might say, please provide me with any documentation indicating I'm a U.S. citizen. As long as you're saying that that's information, you can say however way you want to say, but that's what you're asking. Now, some people use the word person-centric services or person-centric search. They're saying like, hey, I am requesting a person-centric search with any information as in the same thing I just said. So, it just depends on how you want to say it. So again, another way that people might say, I'm going to drop it in the chat, but it's up to you. When I didn't use the word person-centric, it worked for me, but some people have, and it has worked for them. So again, but that's all you're putting here. So I don't know why it's not allowing me to type in there, which is so interesting. Maybe I have to like,
What about the birth, that part up there? Do you put your birthday in
one
there?
second. 1 second. If I didn't say it, it doesn't apply.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I appreciate you for asking though. So whatever I say, that's all that applies. So right here, I-94, passport, other. And then you're gonna put what I just told you guys to put in here. Right? So last time it says any documents relating to my status as a U.S. meaning United States citizen. That's all you're gonna put here. Well, let me type it. Any documents relating to my status as a U.S. citizen. Just like that. Next. Now, we're not going to change anything on this page. There's no expediting processing. You don't do anything. If you have any immigration court proceedings coming up, then I guess you would select yes. If that's not your situation, leave it as such. All right. Now, I told you guys I did this stuff a million times, but I noticed that this time around when I did it, I didn't put any additional information that wasn't required. So when you see an asterisk, that means this little red thing is required. You cannot skip it. So I only focused on information that had an asterisk. That's all I did. If it was anything outside of that, I did not put anything there. Country, your birth country, I put unknown. Some people put United States and they got it, but I put unknown. All right, your birthday will be your birth date. So that's it. So I'm just going to put something in here just to go forward. All right, and then hit next. Now, right here, this has an asterisk, so you can't skip it. Doe, John, and if you have a middle name, put your middle name. Now, what was your full name upon entry in the United States? So you can either leave that blank, or if you don't, let me see if it lets me skip past. If not, just click same as current name because it will mean the same as this. So just put here if it doesn't let you. So there you go. You can either put your name, click that button, or you can just go forward. Either one doesn't matter. Now, contact information. It doesn't have an asterisk here, so you don't have to fill it out. If you want to put your address in there and your phone number, you can, but it's not required. But your email address should show there. Right here, asterisk has to be filled out. So what is your father's name? You remember here it says the family name, that's the given name. I mean the last name. The given name is the first name. So your last name of your, who's this? Father. Right here, first name. If you don't know your father's name, put father name unknown. If you don't know. If you know, put it. Okay? What is the subject of the mother's name? So your mother's name, last name, first name. If the middle name, put it. If not, don't. Now, if your mother is married, it's asking for the maiden name. So put her maiden name. If your mother's information is not known, then go ahead and select not known. Any questions?
No.
For the purposes of this, okay, I'm just going to put this for the purposes of this, right? But if you have it, go ahead and list it. There's nothing else that goes here. Nothing else to do. You don't upload anything. You just hit next. And sometimes I've noticed that when you do this, it glitches. So like you see how I can't select the word next and the button, I knew this would happen because the previous screen didn't show the email. Whenever don't show the email and already in that button, in that space, that means that it's probably going to do the dumb stuff. Just go ahead and refresh the screen. But that's all you do. And you hit next. And then it's going to show you everything that you put in. And you go down, you're going to click, you confirm everything is correct, and you're going to type in your name. That's it, and hit submit. That's all it is. That's all it is to it, right? So now, when you go back in here, so once you do this, you'll get an email from them. It's typically anywhere from like 5 to 7 days. In one particular instance, I literally waited 9 days to get a response, but that was like the third one I did. Usually it's a few days. Before it used to be the same day in 24 hours, but so many people have started doing this that they just delayed everything now. Obviously, that's what they do, right? So I'm going to show you. So when you come back here, you're going to look at my request when you log in, right? And then this is how you check. So when you check, it's going to show you. You see right here, you're going to click here and then click document library. You want to do it. Okay. So, go back. Let me click here. So usually when you click it, it says like document library, the hype going to show you your level. You guys still hear me?
Yes.
You're breaking up.
Okay. So can you hear me now?
Yes.
The last thing you said, my document library.
Okay, thank you. So I was saying when you come back again, so once you submit and your actual process is ready, you're going, there you go. You're going to get an email. The email is going to let you know that it's complete. So once you do that, you go back in here, go to request, hit the date that of the one you did, and hit document library. You see how it's underlined? That means it's clickable. It's bold and conspicuous. Click, and then your letter is going to be there. And you're going to know if it's the right letter because it's going to tell you that there's no, see, FOIA check right here. records, that is the letter. So I'm going to show you what the letter should say, but let me just stop sharing because it might have personal information on here. So I got to make sure I block that out before I share it with you guys. Okay. So right here is the date. It says this letter is in response to your request for records under the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, or Privacy Act, which was received in this office. And it says on such and such date regarding any documents relating to U.S. citizenship or status, birth certificate, and I-94. It says we have completed a person-centric search. No records responsive to your search were located. That's what you need to see. If you do not see this information here that states that there's no records that were found, that means that you don't have the right for you have to do it again. So that's all it needs to say. And it's usually in the first paragraph or the second paragraph. So the first or second, right? So that is what you need to see. When you see that, that means you have records responsive to your request that were located. You do not have the right for it. So let me show you one where it doesn't say that, so I can show you what I mean. Right, so let me go back to like the previous one because I did this like 6 times. I was like, are you kidding me? And every one for the most part looked different. Like one were like 2 pages, one was like a paragraph, one was 2 paragraphs. So and mind you, I didn't even do them significantly different. It's just that when everybody started doing stuff, that's what they do. They start changing it around, make you feel like you're doing something wrong. I didn't do anything wrong either time. It's just that they play games. That's what they do. So let me just pull up one if I can, if that doesn't show that. But once you get that, you're good to go. So what a lot of people do is when they apply for their SNAP benefits, they will put they don't have any income because then if they say something like, oh, you owe us money later because you didn't, no, that's when you bring up them definitions. You did it according to what you know to be law. So that is why it's important to be knowledgeable. Because then you can say, no, that's not what it says. And even I think the IRS publication has it as well. On their website talks about income and comments like that. So you have other sources as long as you do your research, back you up. But I just gave you a definition based on that. So it should be good to go. All right. So I think it's loading. Loading. Okay, I just want to show you guys an example of one that's not the right information. But as long as you have that sentence, you're good to go. So what I was saying is that what people do is they fill out the application, they put no income, and then you would, you know how you allow you to upload supporting documentation, you will upload the FOIA. And you can also upload, like if you wanted to like create a, now what I would do is I would just go ahead and upload the FOIA and that's it, not a citizen. But some people might also like create a Word document stating like there's a difference between income and compensation. I wouldn't do that until they try to tell me it did not because of that purpose or something. So it just depends on how you want to do it. I wouldn't bring it up from the beginning. I'll just let them tell me that's why they did it. And I'll say, well, this is the thing. Even if it was, and then there's another defense. Even if it were, they're saying like, oh, well, you make too much money. There's still a defense because you are required or you cannot be denied for things that you are applying for when it comes to personal, family, and household use. So even if they said, oh, you make too much money, it doesn't matter. They can't tell you that because it's government funding that you're applying for. So as long as you have the right information and right rebuttal, you're going to win no matter what. Because remember, these are systems that are denying you. They're, you know, it's like it's going through certain things. So, all right, let me show you guys an example of one that wasn't the correct for you. You see this one right here? Same thing. Now this says your request was received in the office, right? After assessing request, we determined that the responsive records are not under the purview of USCIS. If no such records exist, they will maintain under the jurisdiction of whatever. This is not the right stuff, and this is a BS response because of the same way I did it, and for the most part, the other one. So you'll just see, you'll get different variations of letter, but you see this one does not say there were no records found, right? So this is not the right FOIA. Let me see if I can find one more. I'm sure I got another one to show y'all. Because each time it looked different. But you might have to do it a few times to get the right one.
Oh, if you have to do
Tyler.
it, if you, oh, sorry.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go
Yes.
ahead. Wait, well, let her speak really quick. I
Yeah.
was going to tell him about you. Let her speak really quick. Go ahead. I don't know who that was, though.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. It's Bridget. I was gonna say, if you
Hi, Bridget.
have to do it multiple times, are you starting it over from the beginning, or are you going back in and editing or modifying?
Oh, no. Good question. There's no edit or modify. You just have to do a new request.
Okay, thank you.
Just you're welcome. How I logged on, I put new request, same thing. You just do a new request. So this is an example of another one. You see, they all said different stuff. The one I showed you guys is because they were workers family. Say so one. So this now there are other if I'm getting your can you guys still hear?
And we lost
Can you
you.
guys still hear me?
You're out.
Can-
You're really, really choppy.
Okay. What about now?
Good.
Okay, perfect. I just moved around a little bit. Okay. So what was I gonna say? So if you guys have any issues getting your FOIA this way, the next time we meet for our next meeting in the inner circle, I will show you another way that I don't put out there in the private. So, and I have not released it yet. So I noticed that a lot of people, I was telling you guys that because this is like a popular thing, because obviously once it hits TikTok and the internet, it, everyone just talks about it, and then 1,000 people are doing it, so they change it. But there's another way to get it almost guaranteed if it came back the first time, but I will share that with you guys if you guys are not successful with this, because I don't want to really put it out there because it's like my secret sauce. But in the event you guys have a problem, I'll let you guys know what you can do to guarantee your FOIA, so you don't have to do it like 9 times. So just let me know. But you guys should be good this way, because since I've been doing it this way, everyone I've done it for, because I do everything for my family, we've gotten it on the first try. I'm not gonna say it's guaranteed, because again, I'm not the person who's gonna confirm it or give it. But I just know that the way I've been doing it and how I taught you guys today, we haven't had any issues, and I've done it like at least 5 or 6 times that same exact way, and everybody got it. And so then they used it. Now again, I would just put it in conjunction with your application as an upload. I'll just do your FOIA request, but you're gonna put in your application that you are not a citizen. Now, sometimes what happens is, depending on where you live or what you're in, those questions may be a little different. So sometimes it may not give you an option that says, I'm not a citizen. So if that is your case, you can put in whatever is there and then let them know, like when you contact them, like, hey, I'm not a citizen. However, there was no option for me to select that because they made you select something. So you could let them know that as well. Or just do United States and then upload your FOIA. Because that's indicating that you're not a citizen. So it just kind of depends on your application. Some applications will literally say like, that non-citizen or, not applicable, but all of them are not going to say that. So I'm just letting you know, if it does say that, just put whatever in and then upload it for you. Any questions?
What do you put
No.
when it asked about your employer on the application?
When it asks about your employer, I would put if you're currently working, I would put who your employer is. But remember, your defense is that they talk about your income. You don't have any income because you already know what the definition of income is. Does that make sense?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah. So if whatever they ask, I will put what they ask as long as it's applicable to you. Now your defense will come into place if they try to say, oh, well, you because even though you might put no income, they might come back and say they can pull records, they can contact your job, and that's what they work together. So you can say, yeah, that's fine, but that's not what the government defines as income. Therefore, here it is, and you can provide them with a Word document showing them the definition of income versus compensation. I will put both of those definitions there. I wouldn't put one. You're showing them that you're knowledgeable about the difference between what they are. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So I'll put them together. I wouldn't separate them. I wouldn't be like, well, this is compensation, but don't say what income is, because it clearly states in that first thing that we saw with income that it's for like what is the word they used? I forgot, but it clearly stated it. So I would just say Just make sure you're on your P's and Q's. But for the most part, you shouldn't have a problem. Most people who upload their FOIAs don't have issues. So if they try to come back, then that's cool. Then say, hey, and then sometimes what they'll do is people have been they'll deny you, request a hearing. And in your hearing, that's when you will bring that information up. So if they say, oh, because anytime you get a deny, you can set an appeal. So an appeal will lead to a hearing, and then you'll have a hearing, whether that be over the phone, in person. You come with your stuff, come with your FOIA, you come with the definition, even talking about you applying for family, household, and personal credit for those things. Like, it's in the laws. We learned that in marathon class, in consumer law class. All that information is there. I showed you guys that if you have that particular course. And so we know that when we're applying for anything that involves household, family, and personal use that is government funding. So that application, you're letting them know it's for family, personal, and household use. According to the law, you cannot be denied food stamps. That's a birthright. So however way they come in, you just got to be ready. But for the most part, like, it's been pretty cool. Like, it's been pretty easy for people who have done it the FOIA way. I mean, I've had students over a year ago get it without any of this, just stating laws over the phone. I had a student in my my private Telegram group, which is my Facebook group. Two people actually reported when I was on live some months ago that they actually got it just by calling. They submitted the application, they called and expressed themselves. That's all it was. I had another student in my program who used a letter. It's in the Google Drive, the food letter, but they actually just kind of tweaked it a little bit. They submitted that and got it strictly off the letter. They didn't even, like, I think they applied first and then sent the letter, was denied, and then sent the letter. They got approved, but no problem. So there is a letter in the Google Drive under the food stamps or EBT or something like that, but don't copy something word for word. Make it your own. You can take that, use it as a guide, but if you're denied, send that. And what I do is I like the quickest way. So I ask them for a fax number, or what I do is you can upload whatever you have as evidence, supporting documentation, whatever. You can always upload it, but yeah. And when I got it back in, was it this January? No, before that. Okay, so the first time I got it, I applied for them. I didn't submit no documentation. This was like last year sometime. And just when I showed my other group, I'm like, I'm gonna show y'all I can get it. I got it. It took them a while because they kept saying like, oh, it's in review. But once I start talking the laws on the phone, oh, they gave it to me within hours. I kid you not. I recorded the conversation. I shared it with my group. They gave it to me. And I just basically said, like, you cannot deny me. I'm like, that's securities fraud. I gave an application for funding. It's government funds. Like, they were like, hold on. They transfer me. I kid you not. They were like, oh, your benefits will be available in 24 hours. It was available in like 2 hours. Got it with no problem. And so now what they did was they said, in order for you to continue getting it, you have to fill out this form. And it was a form in which they were basically telling me, like, I'm required to maintain a job in order to continue to get benefits. I'm like, I don't have to do that because I know my rights, right? So I let them know that because I didn't fill out that documentation, it canceled my entire application. So I applied in June or July of last year, and I got it in like September. And then they gave me like 2.5 months, because it was like they'll give it to you as far as like when you first apply, they give you back stamps, right? So then I applied again in December 1st. And then I didn't even know until like 2 weeks ago that they had already given me the stamps, because online it just kept saying processing. It never said approved. So I called back like, hey, where's my benefits? And they were like, oh, you have them. But because I didn't fill out that form, they couldn't continue to give it to me for the following month. But I let them know that it's not required, and I had to submit I submitted my documentation explaining to them why I didn't have to get a job or maintain a job in order to get benefits. And then they told me to reach out to some department, was like the workers office or something like that. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to. And I'm going to let them know kindly that I don't need to do that. And there's no purpose or reason for a reconsideration or anything like that, because I'm qualified because I simply applied, if that makes sense. So they'll try to tell you things like, oh, you don't qualify. And I actually got a letter maybe like 2 weeks ago stating that I wouldn't be receiving benefits because I'm not in a position where I can't work. I don't have children. Okay. So when I come back, it's going to be interesting because I understand that doesn't apply to me. Like, somebody who's knowledgeable and who understands what that application means, and I'm applying for something that I'm entitled to, They can't tell me that. But see, they don't know that I'm not the average person. They're just doing what they do, right? It's like these automatic letters that come out. They say the same thing to everybody, but when you start expressing yourself, when you start rebutting, you're gonna get exactly what you need as long as you have the right information to back you up. That's why every time I tell you them laws, it's important to know. Because if you apply them the right way, you're gonna get what you want. Trust me. All right. Who was that who just had their hand up? I saw it, but I was talking, so I forgot. I think it's Vanessa or something with a V.
Yes, it was me. So I
Hi.
I just had a quick question.
Sure.
Because you mentioned we were talking about the FOIA, and I had
Mhm.
previously did mine, and my paper came back that I wasn't a U.S. citizen. But does it matter because it had U.S but no dot after the S? Do
No,
I
it
need to
doesn't matter.
over? Okay.
No, that's a good question. I only say that because I'm real big on grammar.
Mhm.
So saying like US without a dot is us to me, which it
Uh-huh.
is, right? So I just like to specify that because you just, again, that could be an error the system picks up. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I just like to be very specific. But no, it shouldn't matter.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's the process. And like I tell you guys, it's super easy. I was just telling you guys that, oh, when Tyler, he's in one of my other programs, he did his FOIA the first time it came back right. And he actually did his a little different than what I just showed y'all, right, Tyler?
Yeah. I had a friend help me walk me through it, even though you taught me, but she helped me like do some like side stuff, like lock my social.
Mhm.
Um, and when I apply for my food stamps, I'm gonna lock my credit bureaus because the credit bureaus they can see certain stuff, so I'm gonna lock my credit bureaus too. And I'm gonna send my SF-181 with it, showing that I'm gonna show that I'm white and Native American too, also. So that's what I'm gonna do with mine.
Right. Okay.
Oh, and
Yeah.
one thing, I don't know what the application looked like. I looked it up on Google. I'm like, what am I looking at? It's all these pages. Can you show us what it looked like for people who don't know? Because I really don't know what
Wait,
it looked like.
what looks like?
The food stamp application, like I don't know, like I don't because I looked it up, but I didn't know what I was looking at. It was like so many pages connected with it.
Oh no. So what happens is it's just it would look different depending on where you live at, what state you live in. So you just
Okay.
would pretty much do like you would just Google and put like food stamp or SNAP benefits for whatever state you're in, and it's going to take you right to the website.
Okay.
Yeah, so they ask you just basic stuff like your name, your address, do you have dependents, do you have income? It'll be no. Do you have a job? You can put yes if you want to, but again, you don't have any income. So that is just really basic information. And then like there's always a place or should be a place where you can upload supporting documentation. So like if they expect you to upload food stamps, I mean not food stamps, pay stubs, you would do that. But in this case, you'll be uploading your FOIA. Now, there are people who actually get them and don't upload that for you. Now this is the crazy thing. When I applied most recently in January, I never sent them a FOIA, y'all. Never sent it to them. I just did the application. They never sent the FOIA. I had the FOIA on speed dial in case they wanted to put it with me, but I never submitted it. And they gave it to me with no problem. Just based on my application. I just put no income. I put I don't know for Texas, I don't think you could put like non-citizen. So I think I did put it. But if they would have said something, I would have just gave them my FOIA. But I got it without any supporting documentation. Um yes, I did go over it, but don't worry because I'm either going to put this recording in the group or I'm going to just run it back. Because what happened was, hey Queen, what happened was when I sent it over to Eve to create the link for me, I typed 8 instead of a 7. So it was wrong. The time was wrong, but that's not you guys' fault, which is the reason why I said I would either upload the recording or I'm going to do it again.
Dr. Goody,
Yes.
I think in our state they ask or they request that whoever's applying put the absent parent on child support. Is that something you came across?
Wait, I'm sorry. What was the question?
I said in our state they ask when you do the SNAP application for you to put the absent parent on child support.
I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Just let them know that that's not if they're trying to require you, then maybe you can submit a paper application and mail it in because you would put like this I do not want to do this process because that's a whole other conversation for a different day. But I'm glad you brought that up. But meaning like so this is the thing when we birth children or women birth children in any state, right? And you fill out the information in terms of like a social and a birth certificate, you're basically giving your children over to the state. So the state owns your children, but want to come back and try to make another parent pay child support. I'm not saying I'm for or against child support. That's not the argument here. But it's a fraudulent system, because why are you asking a parent, another parent, for funds for a child that you technically own, that you make money off of? They're making money off millions of dollars off of these children every year, millions. So why are they asking for another parent for funds when they're already getting funds? So why not give the parent who's asking for assistance funds that they already come with, instead of making another parent pay for what they're working for, which is not the way it's supposed to be. And I'm not a fan of child support for that very reason, because it breaks, first of all, it breaks, to my opinion, it breaks up families. Now, I understand that, you know, I'm not saying that no one should not take care of their children. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is that the system is already getting paid. So why are they not giving that parent who's asking for it the funds directly from the government, instead of taking it from another parent who's also working? That doesn't help. That's just breaking families up, causing, you know, rupture in families and in relationships. Like, to me, it's just fraudulent. Like, that's a whole other topic when it comes to child support, separation of powers, all that stuff. It's not illegal. You can say it's illegal, or you cannot say it's illegal, but whichever way you choose to look at it, based on the law, is not required for any parent to pay child support. So I would not get the other parent involved. That's just my opinion, because the government has the funds for your children, and they get money. They make millions off of them. Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay. Hi. So my case is a little specific. I know, yeah, I understand you mentioned that if you're not a citizen, then you get benefits faster. I'm actually not a citizen, and I've already created my E-Verify account years ago. So I'm wondering, do I have to recreate another E-Verify account and select that I'm not a citizen, because I am an alien authorized to work? So I wonder if they keep records and they'll verify all this information.
Yeah, that's a good question. You can do it again. Yeah, you can do it again.
Okay. And for the FOIA, so I actually already, you know, back in the days for my specific immigration case, I applied for a FOIA. So am I able to redo it with the information you're providing without any issue?
Yes. You can always do a new FOIA.
Okay.
You can do as many as you need to. And again, let me make this clear. You can still get food stamps saying that you're a citizen and saying that you have income. You can get it either way. It all depends on what your facts are. So because I'm a citizen, I can even if I declare myself a citizen, I still liable for food stamps. They still get my application. They still get the funding for it, no matter what. Whether you're a citizen or you're not a citizen, it doesn't matter. You still are obligated to get food stamp. It's just that when you say that you're not a citizen, it's an easier process. That's why I'm telling you guys that way.
Oh,
You can get it either way. Yeah, you can get it either way, because remember, you're giving them an application that you know is backed up. It's an asset-backed security. Any application for funding is an asset-backed security. They're already getting funds for it. The government is giving them funds for whatever you're applying for. You have to have that certain information to know that you can't be denied, so that you can get what you applied for, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, but either way you can get it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then my last question was, so I just want to understand the process very clearly. So if I understand correctly, the food stamp application would be based on the state I live in, and that's where I will locate it. Then I'll have to file the E-Verify, and then I'll also have to file the FOIA and include that to the application that I am filing for.
Right. Now, what you can do is, what you can do is, if you don't want to wait for the FOIA, you can still go ahead and apply with the information that you have. I have no income, all of that, because you still might get approved. But what I'm saying is that the FOIA just helps you, so they can't say things like, oh, well, you know, if they see you're not a citizen, they have to give you benefits because of that. It just supports and helps you get it quicker. But you don't have to do it. You don't have to, like, I never submitted my FOIA. I have it, but I haven't submitted it. And I still got approved both times I applied.
Got it.
You see? So it just helps you, because when you do it from the beginning, they're like, oh, you're not a citizen, and it's a government document coming straight from the government that's supporting. So that's what makes it easier to get it if you have the FOIA, but you don't have to have the FOIA.
Okay.
So, and you can always, if they deny you, you can always reapply with your new information, or you can appeal and let the FOIA be with your appeal.
Mm-hmm.
and your information with the income versus compensation to be a part of your appeal.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Serena.
Greetings. My question was, what specific laws would you need to cite to say that you know that you are, how did you put it?
I don't have
Government funding according to the law. Do you just say according to the law, or do you have to specifically point to titles such and such? You know, like if I have to have a hearing.
Right, you don't have to, but if you're going to have a hearing, I would definitely look for it. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, to be honest. I know so many laws in my brain, but I'll try to find it, and then I'll try to post it tomorrow in the chat. But it's just I went over it in the marathon class, the consumer law class. It's something in, I think, like chapter 15. But if you just do a little bit of Googling, just say like maybe put in like laws around household, family, and personal use or something like that, because it's those words. I can't remember exactly.
Okay,
but
so would it be like the Consumer Credit, what
yes,
is it? The
yes,
Consumer
it's
Credit Act
yes.
or credit something? I
Well,
forgot what it's called.
you can use the words that you are applying for consumer credit and for
Okay.
family, household, and personal use, which is funded by the government or backed up by government funding. Those are your words.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
but if I can find a law, I would definitely put it in the chat sometime tomorrow.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. But always, that's a good question. Always try to find a law, because y'all know like law is word, word is law. So if you have a law that backs it up, it always makes your case stronger. So I will always try to find a law that backs up what you're saying, because if not, it's almost like you're speaking opinions and things that are not facts. So fact is law, law is fact. But good question. All right, Coach B. Hey, Queen.
Hi. So I'm sorry, I haven't been really getting into the status correction because I've been so busy just trying to learn the other stuff.
Right.
Once I do this, does that just simply mean that from now on, when I do applications, I don't check off that I'm a US citizen?
That's up to you, because when you do the My E-Verify, you are changing it to state that you are not, and it's on the record because you're doing it with the government site. But in terms of like the status correction process, is other things that need to happen so that everybody's on board that you are not a citizen.
Okay.
Which is the class that class is actually currently going on. Whoever's not on mute, can you mute yourself, Tony? So we actually have a status correction class going on right now. It's been going on for a couple of weeks, where my friend Paula actually goes through all the different documentation that you should be filling out and sending off so it's corrected everywhere. But if you do that one online, it's good enough for right now, in terms of what we're dealing with right now. But other things need to be done for it to be like as a whole, like you're across the board status corrected.
Okay.
And that looks different. One second. I love your braids, by the way. That color looks nice on you.
Thank
What
you.
I would say is that you're welcome. So that status correction process is going to look different for different people. Like the way I do it can be different from somebody else, It all depends on what you want to put on the record and what you want to change. So some things, like I've gotten information from other people in terms of how they did it, and certain things I didn't want to do. I didn't agree with it. So that's why you have to be knowledgeable about what you're doing, and not just doing something because somebody tell you that you do it. Like understand what this form means and if you want to fill that form out or not. If that makes sense.
Okay, and that's why I hadn't delved into it yet, because I definitely want to know why I'm doing it and for what. But as far as like food stamps, I know that I have a family of 7, and I don't make much money, and my husband makes money, but they can't search it and find out about it.
Right.
So they are saying that they overpaid me from my little jobs that I do have. And so I seen that letter in your Google Drive, and I was thinking I would tailor that to suit me and just go to the hearing with that. But I'm thinking maybe I should also do this before then. That's why I asked.
Oh yeah, girl, you should be getting a bag with a family of 7, girl.
Right.
Get
And
money.
they
You
gave
should
me
be
the
about
bare
$50
minimum.
a month.
They
Or more.
the bare minimum and saying that they overpaid me. I'm like, what?
They didn't overpay you, because the truth of the matter is you're getting paid from they're using your Sesta K Trust or your Social Security funds to actually pay you. They're not giving you anything. That's the crazy part. Like, they never give you anything. That's why every time you there's an application for something, they always ask for your social, because your social is how they're getting the money for it. So they're not giving you anything. It's
Okay.
your money. It's like, even with your job, they're paying you from your own trust account. As crazy as it sounds, but that's what's happening.
Right. No, I believe it though.
You know, so let them. So I would reapply the way that you know how to reapply today. You don't have any income because you understand what income is. And if you have a hearing, just come with your information. And I'll drop some other stuff that I want you guys to read inside the channel, but just something will help you. But you should be good, girl.
Okay, thank you.
And you should be able to get like emergency stamps, like 24-hour stamps.
All right.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Jamie.
I just wanted to say, because of Coach B talking about an overpayment, I actually used to collect for the state doing overpayment collection for food stamps, TANF, and ERDC. And so if they claim that you are overpaid, definitely do the administrative hearing and go in there with literally just the facts, nothing else. And that would be helpful for you to overturn any sort of overpayment that they're trying to come after you for. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you so much, Jamie.
Yeah, that was really helpful. Yeah, and again, it's always about like, again, like your stance. And this is why like I'm super big on like teaching principles, because when you understand what's going on, you understand the information, like you cannot lose because you understand what's going on. It's like, no, this is something I apply for. This is family, personal, household use. And the government has to pay for that. It's backed up by that funding, right? That's why we talk about US funds. So for those of you obviously who are in a mentorship program, you'll learn more about that. Like when you're dealing with remitting your bills, your credit card bill, things like that, that document is for government funding. That's different from paying with US dollar, because the government backs you up. That's why all of your agreements you see a promise to pay. They're letting you know, like, you have a promise to pay them back, but it's with the document they already sent you, because those funds are coming from a foreign corporation. The creditor is always foreign. Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, they're foreign. They're foreign. So there's domestic and foreign transaction that's happening with each remittance because of the government funding. You dealing with the company that you're in business with is domestic. They get those funds, foreign. Different people working together to remit the bill. So, or to process the remittance. You got domestic, you got foreign. Different. US funding is that paper. That's the government backing you up. They already gave you the money. Right? So, all right. So what I'll do is, guys, I will definitely upload this. Just give me at least until tomorrow, because I am out of town. And so and it takes a while for it to download, and I gotta, I'll have Eve do it tomorrow. She'll send it to me, and then for some reason, because she's overseas, she can't access things like Signal and stuff. If she did, I would let her, obviously be a part. She could do everything quicker, but she can't for some reason download the app because of where she is. So I'll make sure that you guys get it. All right. So again, I'll drop some more information in the chat in reference to this. And then I'll drop some other screenshots of information I want you guys to see just for your own purposes of learning. And then I'll put that there. And then the next time we meet, I think I want to go over like some funding stuff, like some banks that you can give you guys some quick and easy money. Don't worry, Allison, I'm going to upload it. I told you guys it was my fault. When I sent it to Eve, I did put the wrong number, and I put 8:30 instead of 7:30. So it was my fault. So because it's my fault, I'm going to be a woman of my word. I'm going to give you guys the replay. So don't worry about that. I got y'all. I appreciate you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and upload the replay to the actual channel. And then the next time that we meet, we're going to do a live meeting in the inner circle once a month. So other stuff I'll post in there, and I'll also go live in there, but we're going to do a live Zoom once a month. And I'm going to be giving y'all information. So the next thing I do, I think I'm going to focus on like funding, because everybody could use that. So that's probably going to be my next topic. And then in between times, I'll obviously go live inside the Telegram group, and I will try to announce prior when I do go live. Because yeah, it's I'll try. But make sure you put your notifications on so that when I do go live, you actually know. But I will always try to give y'all a heads up if I can. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Go get the stamps. Oh, go ahead, Tyler. Last thing.
Quick question. Quick question. Well, for next month's payment, we just send it to the Cash App or whatever you have, or whatever options you have.
Yes. So let me let you guys know. So good question. So in the group, I already created April April, what is it? A tab for April payment. So when the first comes, you just upload your screenshots there. Now the chat is off because I had the chat on because it's just always on unless you turn it off. But I didn't want people to think that was having access to me. So I just turned the chat off. So what I did was when it's time, a couple days before it's time to pay, I'll open the chat back up so that you can upload the payments there. And then once you have your payment, then you stay in a group. If your payment's not received by the first, then that means that you're going to be removed until the next month, because I can't keep track of payments coming in at different days because of how we're doing it. Like, obviously, if I was using like Stripe or something like that, it will tell you if something didn't come through, but I'm not doing it that way just because it's a donation. I'm not dealing with those merchants. So you just have to be responsible to make sure you submit your payment by the first, and then you should be good to go. And even if you email, so even if you once you make your payment, you can always email it because Eve is going to see it, and or Jennifer, and they're going to go ahead and confirm that it's received. So you don't have to do the chat way, but just send it an email. Okay. All right. All right. Have a good evening, everybody. Get y'all stamps. Let me know when y'all got it. Okay. All right. Bye, y'all. I'll upload this. Give me 24 hours. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah.